Hey guys, welcome to Rolling Help, and we're here to share with you our 60-day anniversary. So for the last 60 days we have been on the road and living full-time in an RV. So we want to share some of our experiences and thoughts for those of you who might be contemplating doing the same thing or may be doing it. You never know. There could be a lesson learned. So
yeah, purpose could be just to get away, or maybe to travel to a specific destination or something. But what do you do when you've covered them all? Or maybe you might have you want to do an alternative lifestyle, and it could be somewhat of an adventure, and maybe take it as it comes.
yeah, we have seen all sorts of folks out here. You wouldn't believe the range from people in multi-million-dollar buses to folks that are basically doing the best they can to survive but renting an RV space. So in our case, we are on a mission. Rolling Help Foundation is what we do. This channel is about RVing, but Rolling Help is a foundation that we created to support food banks in small towns, to give voice to the plight of those organizations that don't have the massive support that those in large cities do. Right. So we do what we can to provide a little bit of financial support, but also to raise awareness amongst our different social media audiences.
Right. The last 2 months we've traveled over 65,000 miles.
100.
What did I say? I said 1,000.
We'd be really.
Oh my goodness, 100 miles, 6,500 miles. It feels that long. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
We've stayed at over 25 camping grounds, and we've supported about a dozen.
Directly.
Food banks, and and with all of that, we're having just an incredible adventure.
Yeah. And we've also learned a lot about our RV, about RVing in general, about campgrounds, about driving basically 20,000 pounds down the interstate highway at 65 miles an hour. And we've also learned a lot about ourselves. So
yeah, we've definitely had a lot of fun along the way, and from somebody that is from an island in Hawaii, this country is just so big and beautiful, and we're just getting started.
Yeah. So to this point, we've basically gone on 3 journeys. We basically sold our home, but we have family in Denver, so we kind of use Denver as our base. And I know a lot of there's some people that still own a home. There's people that have, like us, family members that they know they can land at. And if you're going to consider full-time RVing, I definitely would suggest that, because at some point you're going to need to put your rig in the shop. So from Denver, our first trip, we went down through central Texas into the hill country, supported a food bank in the hill country. Then we went on to South Texas, to Alpine, Texas. Met some wonderful people at the Alpine Food Bank. Then we made our way up through New Mexico, beautiful spot in Angel Fire, then back to Denver. That was right there, 2,055 miles. Woo-hoo. Then we shot out west. We wanted to go southwest. We knew that the temperatures were going to start to rise, and we're not into 120 degrees in this rig. You could never keep it cool. So we made our way through Vegas, and then all the way to the Pacific, to Idlewild Campground. Check out the video that we have of this incredible spot at 6,500 feet. You can see the Los Angeles metro area in the Pacific. Then back through a great spot in Utah, Grand Junction, one of our favorite places. And then again, repairs and regroup in Denver, then back out again to the trip that we're on right now, just about to wrap up, in which we really focused on the South.
Right.
So we hit Missouri, then down into Tennessee, Alabama. We had a wonderful time on the lake in Alabama, another great video to catch. Then back up through Tennessee into Kentucky, where we highlighted the Kentucky horse farm, and then now we're making our way back. We're just outside of St. Louis. So we've covered a lot of ground, learned a lot, and like Chris says, we are just getting started.
Yeah, in the beginning, you know, so much of the mechanical side of this rig was a bit intimidating, but you know, I took control of, well, not really control, but I took charge
You took control.
of the leveling system and the hitch system, and at least now I can say that I am familiar with a lot more.
I've noticed you haven't taken control of the sewer system.
No, I'll leave that to you.
Yeah. Well, we so back to the premise of this. You know, I think personally, I think we're on the same page. Is that deciding, oh, when I retire or when I'm financially able, I'm just going to hitch up a fifth wheel or buy a diesel pusher or whatever, and I'm just going to head out on the road with no purpose other than to just do it. I think that it's, you know, you're going to need to find something that drives you. I'm not going to say the scenery and so forth can get boring. It won't, but it will get expensive. So, you know, again, to what drives you to do this. And when you have a person, there's YouTube creators, we have been motivated by some solid people out there, such as the couple that run Changing Lanes, Chad and Tara. There's RV Love. There's even, I won't say even, but AndrewSteele has given us a lot of different models and choices to look at.
Right.
There's Big Truck RV. Don't want to miss anybody. We'll put some links at the bottom. But thank you guys, because you gave us, I think we had it in mind, but you allowed us to pull it together. You gave us the information that helped us in our buying decision and in managing this and in having hope that there's always a solution, and we just have to pivot. So having a purpose is really important. I want to do something a little unconventional, and that's have the RV game show. So I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh boy, okay.
So what have been, of all these miles we've covered Canberra, what have been the top 3 experiences?
Top 3?
Yes.
Angel Fire. That campground was just absolutely wonderful.
So an amazing campground.
Yeah, amazing campground. Experiencing the lake.
Okay.
There are no lakes in
Hawaii. True.
And then being able to do this together.
Yeah.
I think that has been the best thing. Because I kind of geek out on a bunch of things, but it's very exciting. It's, well, you know, we saw the Mississippi River, and I mean, the closest I got to the Mississippi River was from a map from high school. Anyway, but we're experiencing this together and doing this. Yeah. Been
I would say that is probably my number one, and I've got a long way to go, and that's I have control issues. A lot of guys that are, you know, alpha dudes, and I was a pilot and loved.
It does that.
Okay. And love to drive and be in the left seat. So it's been letting go, and then in watching Chris, watching you, really you've taken charge in a lot of ways, and we're doing this together. So that's an amazing thing. And then I also think that you all, if you do this, you're going to have problems.
Yes.
And sometimes they can seem insurmountable.
Ooh, that's one thing.
A power failure, absence of sewer all of a sudden.
You will love to pivot.
Yes.
Or need.
Realizing that you have no water because you didn't know how the water system worked.
Right.
So these things are going to happen, and getting through them, I think, is a great sense of accomplishment.
Yes.
But I think we both agree that in this journey for us, our biggest accomplishment is the support that we've been able to give to food banks and those in need. A lot of people that are supporting us, a lot of them are RVers, and we thank you for that. So it's 60 days. We're just getting started.
Yes.
You're going to follow us off into the Northwest next. We're going all the way up to Washington State and then making our way down the Oregon coast. And who knows what lies ahead.
Yeah.
So
we'd really want to thank you for just your support and for all the the well wishes and everything, and like Tony had mentioned, subscribe to our channel. We really love the help. We would love the suggestions. So if you want, comment below, please. We are the first to share that we do not know everything, and any tip would be great. And also, and we like to be that drop in the bucket, with our journey and the food banks, or the little support that we have given. We've provided, or you, along with you, have provided 10,000 meals. Wow, that is just over 10,000 meals, and that is just so incredible. And thank you so much. That's not so bad being that little drop in the bucket, don't you think?
Exactly. So, and I don't say it enough, but subscribing to our channel someday is going to help us put a little fuel in our tank. You hear YouTube creators saying help pay for the cost of these videos. We don't care. We'll pay for that. We are paying 100% of the costs of all the travel, of getting from one place to the next, one food bank to the next, whatever. And so someday we'd like to have this channel monetized, and you can help us with that.
Yes.
So anyways, so thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
And thanks from Rolling Help.